Of course.
And it's an example of something that involves those trade-offs that I was talking about before. At the end of the day, YouTube is a very large ecosystem of viewers and creators and other partners, and it was about making sure that we were kind of balancing all of those in sometimes sort of competing objectives or competing goals in a decision that we felt was the right sort of overall decision for the ecosystem.
That's the first time you've used the word compete in your life.
But he uses ecosystem a lot.
He does. And of course.
And at the end of the day, all those colloquials.
At the end of the day.
Of a generation.
At the end of the day, of course, it is what it is. I've got to do what I've got to do. All right, fine.
You don't start me again, right?
100 million for you.
There you go, buddy.
Of course. Of course. One does. So, who actually benefited by it? And this is something where when they say of course, the answer is usually not of course. It usually means that, wait a second, actually there's some disagreement here. Who benefited from removing the dislike count? Hey, none of us won the dislike count to be removed.
No.
We've been the target of campaigns too, but you know what? Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Mm-hmm. So maybe former Vice President Joe Biden's White House?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
This is probably going to have to need some refreshing. I might even have to restart. I probably should have waited until after I made this stop.
Now let's contrast that where it existed out sort of in the ether. No.
I didn't think about it. The signal's going to get horrible when I get over near there.
President Donald Trump, right?
But
that was something
stick it out and I'll recover it.
You're talking about many instances of 10 to 1 likes to dislikes. And let's be honest here, YouTube is not a bastion of conservatism. The users, certainly a global user base, shouldn't be outnumbering liberals 10 to 1. So the public sees, hold on a second, Donald Trump, 10 to 1 likes to dislikes. Former Vice President Joe Biden, well, they have to scrub it because nobody actually likes what he's out there saying. So it does two things. That actually accomplishes two things, which they have to say. There are more of you than them. Okay, now I'm not talking about Republicans or Democrats. There are more of you than them when Rachel Levine will talk about it on the Mug Club Only show, which is free this month. There are more of you than them who think that sex changes for kids is criminal, is evil. There are more of you than them who think, hold on a second, the election, if you look at these likes, it does seem like there are a lot of people who went out there and voted for Donald Trump. Hold on, it does seem like there are a lot of people who are disenchanted. It does seem like there are a lot of people who don't trust their institutions, right? This shows you that there are more of you than them. And then if you just look at the public reaction, one would clearly make the inference. If you're an alien who landed here, you would go, beep, beep, beep. Oh, wow, Donald Trump is really popular, and this guy, Joe Biden's a dick. So they get rid of your ability to even see that there are more of you than that. That's what that was about. Yeah. It's not gaslighting Donald Trump, it's gaslighting you. Also, a big proponent of NFTs. This is what I'm sure you're a huge fan of, right? So the like-to-dislike ratio, got rid of that, then NFTs in a 2022 blog post, not to be outdone by Logan Paul, Mohan wrote. He wrote, we believe new technologies like blockchain and NFTs can allow creators to build deeper relationships with their fans.
Welcome.
For example, giving a...
It may drop off for a minute. Where I'm going is a bad signal area.
Videos, photos, art, and even experiences from there.
Yeah, shit. I even lost Rumble.
Favorite creators could be a compelling prospect for creators and their audiences. Less than a year later, the entire NFT market collapsed.
Oh no! Who could have seen that? It was the Beanie Babies.
I wonder if he took any of his $100 million compensation in NFTs.
Do you remember when Trump released the NFTs?
That was fun.
And Yakuza bought one and made some money on it.
I know.
Great, man. That's fine. Go for it.
An exception to the rule doesn't prove the rule, but that was funny.
How were the dislikes on the NFT thing? Did you turn those off too?
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, you can hit the Rumble button.
Yeah, we're out in the woods right now. I'm going to my mother-in-law's. I got to drop something off at her porch, so signal's going to be in and out. It's even farther in the woods than our house.
There's a surge.
We're not taking a hit.
Always have the Mug Club only segments, but the entire show, we have the YouTube teams. You can still see everything you missed over there on Rumble. That's our solution, and then I bet you Neil Mohan will say, oh, we can remove whatever you say off the platform. Well, come and get it.
Yeah.
Mr. Import Export Coordinator.
Yeah, there's 175,000 people live on Rumble right now alone, not including the other.
So this brings us to
I'm watching.
pushing for more sending.
Hey, nerd.
I did not plan.
Counter's back. Well, kinda. Once I get in a better area. No, I'm actually deeper in the woods. I'm still about a half hour from the border. It's a bad spot, I know.
You should hear what.
I just got to make a quick. I got to drop something off at the mother-in-law's house, and then I'll get into a better signal area. In fact, we may go to Chick-fil-A this morning.
Usually words like that. Like I don't find like queer, like fairy, words like that. You know, words that aren't really insulting.
Right.
Hi, unindoctrinated.
Sprite.
Welcome.
That was funny.
Yeah, I think Sprite is
Light in one's loafers.
being light in one's loafers. Right?
Also a tasty beverage.
Right. Yeah. What? Sucking. Like your life's depend on it. Right.
Yeah, all right.
See, I have a little right. Because we know that kids watch.
Yeah, it's a bad. I may lose you, but we'll be back.
They should. It's PG-13. So, for those of you who don't remember the Vox Apocalypse, that is when we were the target here. We kind of, this show was the news, and Google's stock took a nosedive, which, by the way, tune into the Rumble only segment, we'll be talking about that. Here's a refresher where Wojcicki, this was the reason for the Vox Adpocalypse. They had guidelines. We didn't violate any
I'll
of
be
them.
right back.
We've been covering a lot of videos. So it took some time for us to look at that and to really understand what. And in the end, we decided that it was not violative of our policy harassment. I am truly, truly sorry for the hurt that we caused that community. It was not our intention at all.
Just, by the way, just that language, which we'll get to, the hurt that we caused, oh, that sounds like publisher language. We? You're we? I have never even met you, Susan Wojcicki. We're sorry for the pain we caused, as though her and I are a team, or we're in some kind of we're not in a partnership.
All right.
Unless maybe you actually are.
Speaking of language, though, you know, her assault on the word policy, it lost a syllable somewhere.
What did she say?
Policy?
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 Isn't there a policy?
Well, maybe she has cerebral policy.
That's that Valley Girl accent she
Yes.
puts on as a CEO.
Yeah, including the wife.
Tired.
Yeah, you know, her major qualification was providing a garage to two other guys. Yeah, Tuss my name on there.
Yeah.
Let's do a turnaround here.
In the midst of our 2019, this was the Vox dispute. YouTube updated the rules afterward because we didn't violate policies, but they updated them to, quote, remove more hateful and supremacist content from YouTube, and then reduce borderline content and raise up authoritative voices. And this is why Rumble is so keen. We'll be talking about this later. Let's think about brothers. Reduce borderline.
I'm gonna pull this.
What does reduce mean? Could it mean demonetizing? Could it mean
The alert. I just did dance in front of her ring camera.
Borderline content. What defines borderline content?
My wife will see it.
They won't tell you. Then raise up authoritative voices.
that's
What
the
does
big
that mean? The CDC,
All right. I'm turning this around
the
now.
White House,
Yeah.
CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS. If
Oh,
you're a platform, guess what? There's a conflict of interest if you're taking money from places like CNN, ABC, NBC, Universal, and we're in lawsuits with them, ongoing litigation. It's a problem for you to do that.
Yeah. You know who they didn't think were authoritative voices? A couple of doctors in Taiwan. We had doctors in California that were speaking out early. Any doctor around the country that said, hey, we have data going back to, I don't know, the First World War on and masks will typically work in a situation like this. And also a sitting governor sitting down with three of the most prestigious institutions in the world, doctors from those institutions, and not being able to address his constituents. Those are the voices that they think are not authoritative enough for them to raise.
Well, those would be borderline, and they need to be reduced.
And we're okay with that if you are.
Reduce them.
Problem solved. So
1 year before, that was 1 year before all this.
This is going to be a fun raid.
and
Fun raid.
that brings us to a month later at VidCon, or as Mohan pronounced it, VidCon.
Oh, what?
Just keeps that.
We love your Indian brothers.
Yeah, no, of course we do. I love CEOs of the most powerful company in the world coming in an H1 business. So I'm See, this is a joke. Don't expect a reference for that. Announced that YouTube would be cracking down on harassment.
And later this year, we'll be updating our approach to harassment, particularly creator-on-creator harassment.
Nailed it.
That's all
This
right.
work is just as critical to the future of the YouTube community as any
You can identify as whatever you want,
Yeah,
Anonymous.
Okay, Pops Crowder. You know, sometimes when Mom does this, our mom, Mama Crowder, she's French kissing any of the changes based on our channel. Okay. But he strongly defended the demonetization, saying, I can't speak for the particular channel to praise ourselves. That's you. That's you. That's because of you. Again, getting rid of the likes and dislikes. That's to make sure that there are more of you.
Well, the word is pretty
There
cool.
are more of you than
That is a pretty cool word.
More of you who hit the PR box.
Something that you want to try and bring up into a boardroom whenever you get a chance.
I certainly don't feel represented.
That's a dildo-ish statement, damn it.
I absolutely feel represented by 0 Democrats. That's kind of really where we are, and I understand the need for a two-party system. I'm not talking about Republicans. I'm talking about people who value family. I'm talking about people who value the First Amendment. I'm talking about people who value the Second Amendment. I'm talking about people who still think this is the greatest country on earth.
Get a jar of pickles and say, look at that dildo.
You and them, they know it, and once upon a time, you could know it, so they got rid of the public report card, the likes and dislikes.
Yeah.
That's why they did it. So,
And by the way, look how casually he just brushes over the ability to remove your ability to make a living.
Yep.
Right? He said, we're just going to get rid of monetization. Oh, so if somebody doesn't toe the line, if somebody's just a little spicy on some of the content in a way that you just don't like, everybody else can be spicy. They can have the D word or dildo.
do you want medium spicy or really spicy or
Really, really spicy.
or my spicy?
Yeah, if only Matt was there, he'd be freaking out.
Like it, all we're going to do is take away their ability to make a living and pay their employees.
Yep.
That'll get them to shut up.
And then you have some people on the right who say, hey, that's
His phone would be covered in fat.
We're good with that. And that's why, you know what? I should be thanking him. Because so many of you have supported. You know, this is funded by viewers like notice there's no other sponsor in the show. The only sponsor is Mug Club. LoudWithCredit.com/Mug. By the way, enough of you sign up. Guess what? The benefit of Rumble being a publicly traded company, you sign up, that benefits their value as a company.
Mug Club's free this month, I guess. Well, this month, so for 10 days, or not even 10 days,
This is the first
they only
time
do 4 days a week.
Here's the mission. YouTube, go ahead. Remove us. We are here. We are here to lead a mass exodus.
I'm not even going to watch them on YouTube. I'll jump on there and give it a like, but then I'm going to go instantly to Rumble.
That's what this is. That's in a nutshell. I'll go through the plan. Mass exodus from YouTube. It's time to decouple. And I say this as the guy who's been here since 2006. I get it. There would be no show like this if not for YouTube. But the circumstances have changed, and they're accelerating with Mohan. So here are his plans for YouTube. March 1st, Mohan posted a blog post to YouTube. I didn't even, you can do that? Blog post to YouTube?
I guess.
He doesn't even YouTube right.
He's got a special feature we don't have.
It's titled Letter from Neil, Our 2023 Priorities. By the way, if I got a letter from Neil...
Yeah, my pronouns are dill and do.
No, I tossed it in the bin with the Bed Bath & Beyond coupons.
Unless it's Armstrong, I'm not even looking.
Yeah, exactly.
Guess is what Neil has changed from.
What do we know?
No.
I assume he was born Neil.
I think there are a few more.
Who cares? His head comes to a point. So most of the focus was on what he, the innocuous measure of, quote, supporting.
All right, I'm going to turn this around now so you guys can see the traffic.
That sounds
This is called Airport Highway.
That sounds nice.
Near our house.
But let's remember, borderline content, reducing, authoritative. Creators, you mean authoritative sources like CNN.
Hot tub.
You mean authoritative sources.
Hot tub stream?
CDC.
I'd do one if I had a hot tub.
Then had to go to Spotify in a brilliant move and one that I'm very happy about.
Yeah.
Wife wants
WHO
one.
And then not WHO because the WHO.
I figure I'd rather get a hot tub than a new swimming pool.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, they kind of decided what to do.
They're easier to maintain, and
I'm colorblind.
you can have hot or cold water in it. You can just float around. That's the idea.
Another issue that we've talked about for a long time, Section 230. And for those of you who don't know, Section 230...
I want to get in a hot tub while it's snowing.
...these big tech as platforms, just like Verizon or AT&T or public utilities, right? So, in other words...
Yeah, chairman of the board, B-O-R-E-D.
Through a phone service, you can't stop them from talking because you are a platform service provider.
I figure out what I want for my... what's going to be my breakfast.
That would make you a publisher. For example, the New York Times, New York Post can edit what is in their comment section because they are a publisher and it's not welcome there. These companies enjoy the legal protections afforded to them by Section 230 while acting as publishers.
Yeah, most of us still have to watch what we say in certain situations.
We are aligned with government officials in wanting to create a safe environment.
But that's okay, too.
environment online that also allows for a plurality.
Good morning,
of
Chopper
voices.
Chopper.
We're still children here, okay? That doesn't change. To be heard. That's why the
All right, better signal area.
in the debate regarding Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act in the United States. Well, Decency Act doesn't apply to us.
Nope.
Which has fueled the work of our creators and gives us the ability to remove harmful content. Well, what's harmful?
That's a
Borderline.
very stickered vehicle there.
Borderline. Cabal of people.
Kind of dog does she love?
Hold on. Is it the advertiser guidelines?
I assume it's
no,
a
it's
she.
different. Is it
Probably
is it the
shouldn't,
community
but-
guidelines? No.
Terms of service.
I'm old school.
No.
I assume genders.
It's different. What is it? I can't say.
We'll just make.
I don't know. I don't know.
How's that?
Just keep in mind, there's advertiser guidelines, which is don't say anything offensive ever,
Right.
which conservatives cannot be beholden to on YouTube.
Never.
That's the death of our movement. It's done. It's done. If conservatives be like, we've been demonetized for 3 or 4 years. If conservatives say, okay, we are going to ensure that we remain monetized, it's done. There's no more movement to save, okay? It's done. Just so you know. But you can still try and be on YouTube, like we're doing with the YouTube dump button, and not be suspended so you can reach some new people. They have 3 different, they have advertiser guidelines, they have community guidelines, which is more so in relation to the channel being suspended, and then they created, after the Vox Apocalypse, borderline content guidelines, which is the most nebulous and completely ill-defined group of that I can possibly imagine. So they have 3
I don't even think I've
different
logged back
categories
into
to
it,
try
though.
and catch.
Oh, shit.
And as CEO, Mohan will have the final say on what constitutes, quote, harmful content. And given that we know a lot about his ideology, so I've just given you his history with YouTube, okay? Let me give you some more here as to where you think he'll line up. How do we define borderline
Probably the one with the
content?
chicken on it,
Okay.
huh?
Well, he defines it. Okay.
Ah.
So how do you think he will define it? Well, he hasn't donated a lot politically, but every dollar has exclusively gone to Democrats.
So
Okay,
he's cheap?
you can find this. Yes. Careful.
Holy crap, it's full.
Logic.
Chick-fil-A moves
I'm just
fast,
saying
though.
He's fruit.
So Barack Obama and Chuck
$100 million.
and Chuck Schumer, like not even like a Cuomo, not even just somebody who's like Chuck Schumer. For crying out loud, that guy has human blood banks. It's a joke. Don't go by
All right.
the pizza parlor.
Let's pull in here real quick.
But then we're gonna blow it up.
So Mohan also tweeted in support of a bunch.
What's
of
that, original?
Again, when you see that this really does matter, because this will be the man who is
Oh,
powerful information media company.
the fuck?
October 13th, 2022, he
My
wrote,
backup alarm going off. There's nothing
15
behind me.
Latinx at YouTube creators who have had a major impact through YouTube Shorts this past year, and there's a picture. By the way, less than 5% of Latin Americans or Latins think Latinx is a thing. So
Right.
this is an extreme. When people say, "Well, I think the extreme left and the extreme right," they just shout the loudest. No, here's the problem. The extreme right is anyone from the extreme right is defined, by the way. You can read it in the New York Times. You can read it. Dave Rubin to Alex Jones. They're all extreme right. Okay? They had Philip DeFranco. That's all extreme right. But for some reason, we don't acknowledge that the extreme left, someone who uses unironically the term Latinx, is the CEO of the most powerful media company in the world. Are you starting to get? Can you name, if you were to create a punchline to point out that someone is as woke as they can be, would it include the term Latinx?
It would. Yes.
And this guy is tweeting it out.
Well, absolutely.
And then he'll have the nerve to
Chuck
say,
Schumer.
"I'm not political. I am on bullshit." Why? Because you use Latinx.
It's like a pork bill. What started out as creator on creator violence becomes and this.
Well,
and this,
words are
and this.
violence now,
Yeah.
right?
Well, no,
Remember?
but it started out creator on creator.
It's pronounced
Let's be queer
verbs.
inspired, right?
Well, I apologize.
You enunciate the V. So,
All right.
November 2nd, 2022,
That's why environmental was so challenging.
Why?
Mohan tweeted out, "Really exciting to see YouTube creators like Dr. Adana join leaders from around the world at COP27 to take action on climate change." Again, the presumption that not only is climate change man-made, but that international governments and their committees, which, by the way, directly harm you.
It's some
If you draw
Chick-fil-A
fire
nuggies.
from fossil fuels, if you use natural gas to heat your homes, It assumes that all of us agree with that. And then he'll say he's not political, he's unbiased. It's not possible.
Do me a favor. Do not send $1 in aid to starving children in Africa if you are
Hello,
also
Agalos.
pushing for policies regarding climate change, because that is killing them by the millions, because they have no energy. Because we will not fund it through the World Bank because it pollutes, and climate change is our main goal. Not saving the lives of people in Africa.
By the way, November 8th, 2022, you'll like this one, midterms. Right, during the midterms. Which, by the way, we were suspended on YouTube. And still had the biggest stream off of YouTube, which was a historic. That was when we started saying, okay, there might be something here with Rumble. Okay.
Absolutely.
He tweeted out, the U.S. midterm elections are today, and we're working to limit the spread of harmful misinformation and connect people to authoritative information. Just earlier this month, there you go. What's misinformation? That, hey, maybe you shouldn't vote by mail. Maybe you should show up. Hey, maybe the machines are not working for 3 hours in the most populated area of Arizona, Mohan, so you might want to wait a little bit or go back and vote later. Remember? That was misinformation initially, and those were removed. Then we found out it was... And then you say that Carrie Lake is an election denier. When Carrie Lake is going, oh, I'm not denying, I'm saying that the machines in hours and people have... My voting base actually has to work.
Right. And you know what? All of this would be fine if you could sue them. And that was the balance. That's the protection that they have, and that's why it is so bad, because there is no check to their power now. If the people in power and government are okay with it, they're going to do whatever they want.
So here's something that I think is the most subversive. And I've said this for a long time. I think I got it to a...
Fastest drive-through in the world.
A long time ago about
Chick-fil-A.
Where he mentioned the term equity, and I said, well, actually, I think equity is... You can have equity or you can have equality. And we were sort of missing each other on terms. But I will tell you that anyone today now, with a clarification, who uses the term equity as a positive is a fascist ass. So Mohan tweeted support of inclusion and equity at YouTube, saying YouTube's inclusion working group helps our team embed equity in the foundation of their work. We're sharing more about their important efforts. Some of the phrases, by the way, in the graphic that Mohan tweeted out that you can see there. Prioritize equity into core strategies in iterative thinking before launch. Bring historically underrepresented voices at key decision points. Identify equity risks in the development process. Now, here's the thing, too, that's pretty important, just so you know. You can have equality, which means equal opportunity. Bernie Sanders agreed on Bill Maher. Can someone pull that clip? Actually, we'll run it on the Mug Club segment. On Bill Maher, he said, well, hold on, equity sounds like in short outcomes, and equality sounds like equal opportunity, which, if you've watched the show, is exactly what I've said for many, many years. And Bernie said, he said ensuring equal outcomes. You can have equal opportunity, or you can have equity, which forbids equal opportunity.
Still make it there before noon, which is my goal.
Okay, let me give you an example here.
Even with the nuggy stuff.
That boxing is so corrupt, right, is the mob is involved. Where I believe it's the only sport that has to be actually regulated on some level by the state and federal government with commissions to ensure that you're not putting barbed wire in your gloves or putting some kind of a salve that'll blind your opponent, because there was so much corruption, and the reason why is because the mob got involved early on. It dates back pretty far, but they really got involved with a guy named Sonny Liston. You may have heard the Phantom Punch. Muhammad Ali took him out. Now, why? Here's what happened. The mob said, we can make a lot of money in boxing, big sport, on sports betting. And then they said, now that would be equal opportunity, right? Hey, we can bet on the guy who we think will win on a fight. A fight is equality. Equal opportunity, the best man wins. Then the mob said, oh, we can make more money if we fix fights. That's equity. It's fixing it. It doesn't matter. Hold on. Ali in there with Liston? No, we're not going to box. We're going to pro wrestling. We are going to predetermine the outcome regardless of the qualification. You can have equality or you can have equity. And equity is fascist. Equity are the shackles that bind you and remove your freedom under the false guise of being nice. Anyone who says equity as though it is anything other than Orwellian and terrifying doesn't know what they're talking about.
It allows you to be racist, just like the Harvard people when they aren't letting in Asians, right? It allows you to say we don't need any more of you people, so we can have policies that are terrible. And it starts out soft like that, but then it just keeps going. And now, as a white guy, you're not protected from anything. Nobody can be racist against you. You can only be racist against everybody else.
Yeah, that's true. Although people are racist against you specifically, but you're not white, you're translucent.
I'm not black. That's true, actually. Yeah, that's one of the first true things that I've had.
He's also, by the way, of course, I know he's very was very notorious for his why you kicked my dog, which just he's moved on to
I didn't kick your dog.
Talking about Mohan.
Oh.
So so people talk about the swamp when they're talking about politics, and then they have this blind spot, which is why Club and why we're so excited about Rumble. Big tech has a swamp. Mohan, $100 million for his wonderful performance with NFT. I mean, come on, think about this for a second. You have a few key people who run everything in the big tech sphere. Okay, very few people, and then they give jobs to other people regardless of qualifications. So you have Mohan.
Yeah, but they lost.
Democrats. You have a guy who's actively supported removing the like to dislike ratio, which means he's actively supported.
One of my favorite running backs, they traded him.
Transparency. And again, the reason is to make you feel alone.
I'm just
feel
on
isolated.
Monday brain right
He
now. I
also,
can't
of
think
course,
of his
was
name.
very happy about reducing borderline content, which is not defined, and the guidelines aren't defined, and how they reduce is not defined. And of course, this is a man who unironically used the term Latinx, donated 100% to Democrats, I don't know, plus or minus 1% at that point, and
Better than subtitles, right?
equity. He wants to ensure the outcome on YouTube, just so you know. So let's apply that to YouTube. We're talking
Yeah,
about.
Jamal Williams, that's
This
what I
is a man
meant.
who wants to ensure that when you tune into YouTube,
They just,
children tune into
that wasn't Jamal.
they're not once upon a
They
time-
gave him a decent deal for his age and everything. His agent was just a fool for turning it down.
Sure that when your children tune into YouTube, they would never see the hateful rhetoric of someone like me, but instead, they get Dicker Dildo and trans TikTok stars and Rachel Levine telling your children they should secretly message them if they want to get a sex change, and that you as a parent are abusive if you don't allow them to do so. He wants to ensure the equity, that the underrepresented voices, and you know what? Here's something too. They just came out with some polls regarding
Ricky
Donald
Henderson.
Trump incredibly well with people of
That's
color on
baseball, first of
CNN,
all.
in the primaries and the GOP making inroads. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone else.
But he was good. I wouldn't call him the greatest ever. He was a hell of a base stealer. I'll give you that.
In this country, and what I mean by that is Joy Reid,
Probably one of the
Al
best
Sharpton,
base stealers out
the
there.
Afrocentric lesbian gender studies major who's talking about reparations. That's not the average black American. Sure, the average black American has a differing worldview and different life experiences than white Americans, but guess what? We can't come together and discuss that if the representatives for black Americans on all of our media, and of course insured through the equity program at YouTube, are hateful, bigoted, anti-white racists.
Yeah, he broke
Black
Barry
people
Sanders'
aren't that
record.
way.
Those 17 rushing
And
touchdowns.
so they don't feel represented. And they feel isolated. This is what you have to deal with at YouTube with someone like a Neil Mohan. The replacement for Susan Wojcicki is absolutely so much worse, which is why we are, of course, streaming to Rumble. We're making 1 month free of Mug Club. You don't need to enter in your credit card information. Just watch it, see all the additional content, and then we ask that you support us. You can push the Rumble. Did we get that Bernie Sanders clip? All right, here, you know what? Let's see this Bernie Sanders clip just to drive it home on the equity front. Here's Bernie Sanders admitting this crap. Do we have it up?
So we confusing equality of opportunity with trying to guarantee equity and outcomes. Okay, that's interesting because I think this word equity has come into the language in the last few years, and before that we didn't hear it a lot. And I think a lot of people hear equity and they hear equality. They think it's the same word, and it's not the same word and the same concept. So how would you differentiate between equity and equality?
Well, equality, we talk about, I don't know what the answer is.
Poor Bernie.
I mean, you know, equality is equality.
I used to like Bernie.
We live in a society we want all people to have whatever color your skin
just
is.
Equity, I think, is more guaranteed outcome.
Fell into the deep part of the deep state.
Yeah, okay. So which side you come down on?
All right. So, and by the way, this is why when you have people too, to like the fracturing and the infighting on the right, they're always the people who claim that they're not right wing or left wing. I see them as issue by issue basis. Well, hey, what are you talking about?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. May I have a name for the orders here?
I have a mobile
This
order
is
in.
a guy
Absolutely.
right out there. This is what you're fighting against.
And what was that name on there?
Norm.
Equity. Yeah, that's absolutely right. And you have people who say, yeah, no, I like Donald Trump.
What was that?
Really, I'm
it Norm?
Yeah,
I'm
Norm
pro-Christian,
W.
but I'm a Bernie guy.
Absolutely. And beautiful. Just
You're not one of them.
just make sure
You're
everything
not
was
one of
correct
us
on this. It's one
because
count. No, you will
you
large,
like to
fry,
say
large
anything.
Coke. You got anything to take anything
If
off?
your solution
There's
is
sauce
what
coming
that
with that,
guy
right?
wants, which is the government
Chick-fil-A
determines
sauce?
everything. And by
Yeah,
the way,
absolutely.
the government isn't
All right, then, you're all set. You have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
With YouTube.
They're just
and
so nice
Facebook
here.
Through Section 230. They control everything and they ensure outcomes. Guess what?
I don't.
You're not one of them.
That's the best part is I don't handle it. That's why everybody's a mod.
Good husband,
Everybody can talk
go
shit.
home to your
I don't even
house
care.
and play with your wife.
Everybody I like, anyway.
I think of the famous Dennis Miller line. You've reached a certain age, and you haven't thought about such things. And you've let him assholes.
Yes, exactly. And his comb drawer is filled with balloons.
Anna knows me too well.
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that, but it's the hallmark.
It is her pleasure.
Exactly, I was about to say.
She did.
This is a fringe issue.
And then she told me what type of day to have.
It seems to me like that means.
Should have told her, don't tell me what to do.
Oh, that's a-
Oh, yeah.
So before we go to the Mug Club only segment and we lay out our vision for Rumble in the future, the roadmap in big tech, Rachel Levine, well, we'll go to Rumble, we can talk about it. Said this about children transitioning. in the
Okay.
United States. I'm a positive
Thank you.
and optimistic person. And
He just told me he liked my beard.
I think that the wheel will turn. I think that it's not going to be political.
Gotta love these Christians. They make some good chicken.
In 2022. And so I think that as we look to all the different elections in 2024, I think the next 2 years are going to be challenging, but I am positive and optimistic and hopeful that the wheel will turn.
It's faded, man.
And
See, it's a
that,
fade.
This issue won't be.
Yeah, they use clippers.
Politically and
Been going to the same barber for years, though. I only have to go. I literally go in there and sit down. He cuts my hair and I leave.
On YouTube.
So I pay, and then I leave.
Mug Club is free for a month right now. This would usually be Mug Club only. Go to Rumble or loudercredit.com/mug.
It's God's chicken. Yes, it is.
Discuss this first. I have to urinate. Very much like this graphic. Those on YouTube share the show. We'll be back in just about a minute. Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go look for that. Was that this morning's video, Anna? That's awesome. I'll definitely give your comment a thumbs up if it isn't deleted already. All right, should be going over to Mud Club now. Well, and if they believe in all the crap that they say they believe in, they'll let the comments stand. But I guarantee you, it gets hit. Which means they're the ones that they just want to be the ones in power. Damn, Michigan plates. John James sticker. He's the one that went up against Gretchen Whitmer. John James. This is what you get
All right, guys,
at Chick-fil-A.
we are finally able to be in Freedom Land here. On
All right,
Rumble.
it's gonna get
So all
risque
you
now,
YouTube
we'll
people,
see.
the 40,000. I said it. And
Rumble
it grew by
exclusive.
Like 5,000 people. on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's just people that came in a little bit late. So thank you for making your way over to Rumble. By the way, we're gonna be updating that that little animation that we have. But he did that with actual, like, it was a claymation, right?
Yeah, he's a claymation guy.
Yeah.
He's got another project currently.
Yeah,
that he couldn't
it's
pull
true.
off
Come on.
for launch, but hopefully
They don't even realize it.
Ah, that'd be nice.
Or they do.
Get a little Rumble logo that gets to play along. They can't. be
They're
eating
agents.
on YouTube, though. That would be fun. But
Yeah, Rumble's way more mature than
Oh
that.
wow, you can actually step out at
He's
the
back
drive-thru here
easy.
now.
We're just, we're talking here. All right.
Yep.
The funny
Awesome.
thing.
So there's
I
that
just
strong
kept thinking
receiver.
about
Could be in the
this
bag
throughout
for you.
the show, and I bet
Thanks for
a lot
also
of
have a
our
great day.
viewers
Thank
say
you.
too, like,
My pleasure. Thank you.
Is it your pleasure?
Rumble exists because of you.
It's his pleasure, he said.
You created them by being the jerks that you are.
Hold
That's the other
on,
word.
look at this. Joe Lewis. Joe Lewis. He's going to be whining to get out. Well, you can just keep betting him there, Pops Crowder.
Does
He'll
he have
stick
a
around.
social media account yet?
Joe Lewis.
He needs one.
There he goes.
Hi, buddy. Hey, buddy. Oh, he smells the hand sanitizer. Like, nope.
About.
Nope.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
If you were rubbing your hands with fish oil, he'd be more.
Yeah, by rubbing it with sardines. Okay. So, just so you know, people you're watching, and obviously we went later today. Right now, if you're watching on Rumble, or if you're watching on Mug Club, it's basically the communities player. If you go to just book
Really?
credit.com/Mug Club.
Yep.
That's the best place.
Did they have it around where you're at?
Go there 10 a.m.
I mean, I know
weekdays.
it's been expanding quite a bit lately,
You'll
but
also see the other creator tabs there.
Yeah. We'll have that up. Those creators, by the way, if you're a fan of one of those guys and gals in the future right now, so far, guys, make sure that you subscribe through their page. We'll have their pages up as we go, as we launch their shows. We're just announcing this, right? So kind of hold your water there. We want to make sure that those subscribers, hey, fun thing. They actually keep their subscribers.
Yeah, that's one thing
we
too.
practice what we preach.
Well, not only that, we had people come to us who said, like, I don't care, I don't really care about subscribers. We're like, well,
Yeah.
we're going to keep them in their own little
portal.
list anyway, so
Yeah.
that if you do want to leave, you get to take them with you.
Right, you'll absolutely have them. But if you are on Rumble right now and you have not gone over to the Mug Club portion, go do it. Sign up for a free account right now. You can see all of the interaction that people are having right now. It's a fantastic.
Oh, that is the best, dude.
Here in a second, so
Do it. It's free. Come on.
I don't even. Whenever I'm modding, especially like on Frickin' Media's or MCC's channel,
right. Shut up, you.
they will. They have their chat set to look at almost every message that is questionable. They really need to change that. But. So I just hit show. I don't even fucking read it. I just hit show. Show. I don't care what it says.
You don't fight like hell, you're not a man. You're not a father, and you're not fit to protect your children. So I just want to be clear here, because I know that everyone watching feels that way. Again, there are far more of you than there are of them. For someone to say this will be...
Oh, dude, that would be awesome.
It actually was not politically advantageous in 2022. Well, you mean in 2022, we're actually talking about puberty blockers, you're trying to say that most people supported sex change operations for children? It just throws that in there like it was politically disadvantageous for them. No, it's not. No, it's not, Slimer in a wig. Someone do a side by side. Everyone's done the Mitch McConnell.
Oh, I love it too.
During the audio clip.
He is the ultimate status.
No, I'm not just saying. I'm not just saying that Dr. Richard Leland Levine is ugly. Real dope. Of course. What I am saying is that it's twisted. From living a lie, and from lying to you, from wanting you to take part in that way. That absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah.
Forever. You got to at least start by taking kids.
I mean, let me show a bunch of screenshots of the money I've sent out.
Your kids are no longer on any social media platform.
Screenshots.
This can be pushed as normal.
Screenshots, though.
It takes some parenting. It really does take parents that are getting involved. We've got kids, right? You've got kids. I've got kids. We don't have kids together. That would be impossible. We're two men, but in this day,
I think it's cool that you got a wrench, but did you have to pay for it?
It's not just protecting them from what Tommy's parents are gonna.
Or did you just loop him into it?
They're gonna get too much sugar. It's ideologies like this where they go to school and they're joking around as kids do, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, he's playing with golf.
I would.
What would be the equivalent of when people say extreme right and extreme left? And I'd love to see, your chats. We'll take your chats.
And there you compare the two.
They can try and be a fence sitter and say, and by the way, I don't hide from it.
Ooh, waffle fly.
Hasn't changed. I'm involved in some views, but honestly, my great parents who made me very aware of these early on. You've been a conservative pretty much your whole life. Sometimes people see that as, well, why don't you change your mind in the face of data? No, I'm a conservative whose views have become strengthened because of the data and because of my experiences. I'm not a liberal who became conservative later on, which is the trend, of course, as you get older. I was one of the anomalies who started off conservative, and so did you. If you were military, so did you. Came from a good family and stayed that way. Why is it that liberals very often become conservatives as they get older, but you don't see that statistically? People who are young and conservative overwhelmingly becoming liberal. Some do, but not anywhere near to the same degree. Why? Because the data, the information, the science, and certainly your personal experiences, they strengthen them. Yeah. So, what's the equivalent to the far right of Rachel Levine in the Biden administration? I think that's as far left. Can you name further left than sex changes for kids? Okay, this is the Assistant Secretary of Health, Secretary, Assistant Secretary of Health.
Rachel,
Admiral.
Let's make sure we
Rear. And fantastic Rear Admiral.
I'm born
and, you did some. Yes, we did. Do you think, would it be Jared Kushner? Would it be advisor Steve Bannon? That's the person who said is the most far extreme right. Do you think that Steve Bannon any of his views are as extreme as sex changes for kids? Think about that for a second. You think people said that the election was stolen, which, by the way, I agree, just so you know, since we're on Rumble. I don't know that it was stolen. I certainly know that the election was
The state itself?
not all on the up and up, and there was a
Or
lot
just
of
industry has lost that many jobs?
Makes it a landslide, but again,
If that's the government, I'm fucking all for it.
The media is what stole the election, and big tech, of course. When I say media, big tech, they're one and the same. Just came off to repeat myself. So big tech, media, entertainment, industrial complex. That alone.
Unfortunately, it's probably industry, right?
Think about that for a second. You can't keep concealing
Some woke
this
industry.
and you cannot be territory where you say, whoa, the extreme right and the extreme. No, this administration supports sex changes for some podcast who said there were sex slaves in a pizza parlor. I'm saying the person who could directly be in charge of health policy wants sex changes for children. You tell me who the extreme right in office would be to me.
Yeah, exactly. And let's just juxtapose it with something else. Vaccines for kids.
That's Rumble.
The group that I cited
On my phone.
Strike on YouTube and basically said, look, these guys.
In minimized version, it's running.
The data doesn't show that they're at risk, and now we're forcing it. Now they're getting emergency authorizations again for boosters.
You pulled the Susan Wojcicki.
I get rid of syllables.
Emergency authorization.
I do it all the time. I haven't had it.
I've never sent Chili money, but I'm members of a couple of them. The ones I really like or enjoy their content.
Can I say I'm 15 money?
The cheap ones, the ones that are under $5.
But people used to guess I was 59 when I was 39?
And oftentimes I'll jump in, get a membership, and then cancel it instantly. Not to, I mean, you still pay for the month, so it just won't renew.
We have a great public school that's close to our house that every parent who's conservative says, actually, these guys are doing a great job. They're fighting against that.
I think there's only like a couple that I renew all the time. I like Flex, although his members only stuff really isn't all that. I mean, if you see his lives, you've seen his members only stuff.
Sorry, pregnant ladies, we told you that it was going to be just fine, but actually it is leaking into the milk, and actually it could probably have some kind of side effect. We just don't really know yet, but make sure you get your 4-year-old boosted.
Yeah.
When Bao was monetized, I was a member of his.
Now, the left claims too are talking about they're looking.
He lost his monetization on my birthday last year.
While you hover over your office toilet, watching TikTok while a machine suckles at your teats to provide milk for a lady who can ignore your kids. So, good. You feel like you're liberated, women? All right. Yeah, remember that? We won't name names, but remember when the door was open one time and it was the working lady?
I like Bao.
Open the door.
He's moody, but he's entertaining. He could turn a video that's pretty fucking boring into some entertainment.
Yeah, if you're in Minority Report.
If you're freezing it and using it later on the road, that's fine.
Pop Strider, can you verify?
I don't know what vulgar is.
I don't remember that person opening the door with the electronic milking.
It's gross. Dairy farm.
Yes.
Like I said, totally fine if you're using these.
I'm pretty sure.
Exactly, of course. Just
It heals cuts. Okay.
Oh, breast milk?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the machine. Okay. So we're going to take your chats, but let me kind of lay this out here.
Well, you'll never hear me beg.
With Rumble and how Mug Club Rumble.
Links are there, but
what's Mug Club?
and I'll be grateful if you send it, but I'm not asking for anything. And I don't see myself ever being monetized, even if I get the numbers.
Is for there to be a mass
Because
exodus.
I fucking hate doing shorts. The only shorts I've been doing lately are of the dogs and cats. You guys see that last short though?
To be on YouTube because you need to reach new people.
How's your spirit down?
However, YouTube has made it untenable at this point.
Well, it looks like MCC's got a premiere going.
The title.
I wouldn't be doing no premieres Monday through Friday in the morning though, while Crowder's on, because I'm gonna be watching Crowder.
Of having a platform that's pro-free speech. Conservatives are the ones who are being censored. People on the right are the ones being censored. So of course they're going to go there first. But once Rumble becomes a viable competitor, people will go there just because that's where people go. That's what YouTube is. It became its own sort of verb and noun. I'll YouTube it. I'll Google it. There's something to be said for critical mass. Okay? And that doesn't exist with any conservative platform. Despite all the gnashing of teeth, foot stomping, again, there are more of you than them. There just aren't enough of you in one place. So there's a problem that needs to be solved. And we were going through this with Mug Club for a while, saying, okay, how do we solve this problem?
Should see the steak I had last night. Porterhouse.
We absolutely rely on you to subscribe at $89 a year. You get this wonderful girthy that's running now 3-4 times the content, depending how you measure it. But the problem that we always wanted to avoid was we had these subscribers, okay? And then we had the free portion, okay? But the silos and echo chambers that people complain about, right? And it's true. You don't want to have conservatives siloed off and just have echo chambers where it's only right-wing people. But that's because you need a platform that has some kind of critical mass that just allows for
extra stout as a replacement.
That's why what they refer to as borderline content. And it's
I can drink a stout once in a while. I'm just not a huge fan. And I love coffee and stuff, but
right, they put him in that article along neo-Nazis because
okay.
Nazis and then Ben Shapiro. It's absurd, right? I can't think of anyone more anti-Nazi than Ben Shapiro. But these people, right, they proliferated on YouTube back when they didn't censor content to the degree that
the Rottweiler named Felony.
So all that needs to happen is there needs to be a platform that allows people to speak freely. right? And the largest free media platforms, I'm not talking about the paying subscribers, the places with influence, the critical mass, the billions of users, yes, they are run by foreign leftists. So what is the solution? We spent a lot of time with people at Rumble. The solution is something, we're not there yet, Rumble Premium, right? Like
I'm
you
an
have
IPA
Spotify,
person.
you have Spotify Premium. You have YouTube Premium, which is,
I like the bitter.
ultimately down the line, the goal is to get you to the point where when you log into Rumble and you're paying for that premium program, it's like using one of these other services. Now, Mug Club is the test case. Okay? Mug Club is under the umbrella right now where, you don't get access to everyone who charges you on Rumble, right? You do get access to us, to Nick Apollo, which is a comedy special from Ryan Campbell, right? Mr. Guns in here. That's the test case to ensure that it's viable for people to pay for a premium service, which will then support the free service. Let me explain this to you. I've been around Friendster, MySpace, Zanga, Facebook when it required an EDU address. Remember my brother, he gave me a fake UT address when he was doing a UT in Austin. Instagram wasn't really around until a few years ago. TikTok really is only, you'd say, the last 4 years as far as being maybe 3 years. By the way, we're permanently banned from TikTok. The Chinese don't like behind me. But then you look at the models out there. And no conservatives have this model. But it's necessary. There needs to be at least one. Spotify, YouTube, Hulu, Amazon Prime. These are the models that have staying power. Right? These are the models that you still probably use pretty frequently. What's the common denominator? A huge and usable.
All right. Now we're approaching the border.
Spotify is used for free.
The invisible line.
A worthwhile premium service that provides added value to you.
We're not to the G plant yet, but right after the G plant.
Ad-free with perks. You can use Amazon for free, or you can get Prime with added benefits and perks. Hulu, free or ad-free. YouTube, free or premium, ad-free, and with exclusive features. So all of these platforms that have this huge influence and are the biggest companies in the world, they have a huge, robust, free service and platform where their capital.
I'm doing 70 and a 60, and people are flying by me.
A certain subset could pay.
Look at this shit.
Damn. Value added. It's not hitting a tip jar. It's not just supporting.
You guys know that lane disappears in a half mile, right?
Something that they like. They're listening to something ad free, or they get an exclusive show. Here's the thing: it's really, really easy. We found this, unfortunately, with a lot, and this is the interest of a lot of people, not all. It's easy to make money off of the existing conservative base. It's why you have people who create Patreons. It's why you have a lot of conservative companies create subsidiaries that sell products, and then they eventually fold. Right? You see this all the time. Right? You can make your money, get out. But who is building a future? And more importantly, who can build a future that can solve the problem of the big tech stranglehold? Let me give you an example here. So you know that what I'm saying is true. How excited was everyone for Elon Musk buying Twitter? And for good reason. That was the #1 topic for weeks, right? We saw it was the trending topic. Our shows, anytime we discussed it, and it was important to discuss. Now, keep in mind, Twitter is the smallest of the big tech platforms. We're speaking as far as like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, Google. Let me ask you this. How stoked would you have been if Elon Musk had bought YouTube? Because on Twitter right now, everyone is speaking freely on Twitter. People can actually say what they believe with Rachel Levine on Twitter without fear of being banned. And now you have significantly fewer users on Twitter. I shouldn't say that. I'm saying, in general, fewer users than YouTube or Facebook, Instagram. Okay. Elon can't buy YouTube. You can't feasibly do it financially. YouTube is worth about $150 to $190 billion, depending on what metrics you use. Now, compared to all other conservative companies out there, Rumble, and they're not really a conservative company, they're a pro-free speech company, I should say. Rumble is huge at $2 billion. That's not enough, is it? But if all of you watching right now, you migrate and you start watching your content creators on Rumble who are already there for free, okay, for free. If you do that, that's one part. And if, let's say, 500,000 of you is for free to this show, 500,000 of you join Mug Club this year, and that parlays into a Rumble premium subscription service across the board down the line. Hey, is that Rumble worth 20 million? Could they be worth 50 billion? And if they become worth that, what kind of competition could they start creating? We're not shying away from turning a company into a behemoth that could compete. Why? Well, check out.
I can't read all that one, bro.
Check out what we've done with the French government. They have painted themselves into a corner where their stock value can only go up if they value free speech.
All right, now we're really getting close to the border now.
They have backed themselves into a corner for you. What kind of competition do they start creating? Now, full disclosure, now I do have a vested interest in Rumble doing well. Here's the thing though. I was using and promoting Rumble before I ever did. All of us were, before we ever did. It's like with our sponsors, right? We were already praising them. And then like Walford came and said, hey, you know, a lot of people said that we've heard you talk about Walford. Let's create a partnership. The smartest thing Rumble could have done, and I think this is a testament to their character. And by the way, how often have you heard me say this?
Oh, the worst thing to lose is your chat mojo, especially when you got something ready to come out and then you lose it. Or the timing's off.
Could have done if they were looking for short-term money, which is very common.
Really sucks when the timing's off.
To try and keep getting us to use their platform and promote them for free. The smartest thing they could have done was partner with us in no way and take the free promo. Instead, they said, we get it. We've got you. Let's charge.
I got nobody behind me.
And let me also tell you this, a big part of the reason for partnering with Rumble and this new kind of, I don't want to say pivot, but, oh yeah, let me explain this to you, pivot that maybe you didn't know about. We were preparing for a major lawsuit with YouTube, which I can't get into, but you know this took a lot of our time, energy, and resources. Gerald,
Yeah, that fucking truck's been sitting there a week.
Being a publisher instead of a platform, there's evidence that we have that nobody else does have. That would have just drained us of resources and energy, which, of course, in my case, could be better spent on content. But at that point in time, when you're throttled, when people can't find your content, when you don't show up in search, when you don't show up in browse, when you're being falsely labeled misinformation, there was no other way other than the legal way. But now there is competition. And that's a better use of energy. More important than that, here's the thing. We were preparing for a legal battle. And by the way, we had plenty of legal battles like Twitter and Facebook and stuff, but they weren't full-on lawsuits where there were petitions for information and then they were relented and took the strikes off. Okay. Fine. But more important than that, preparing for what would have been this end-all legal battle with YouTube and peering behind the curtain, let me tell you something. Your legislators and a lot of people controlling the purse strings, and that's what we talked about big con. Not everybody, but a lot of them, they're not interested in really taking the fight to YouTube and Google. Sure, they say they are, but Republicans had control. They're talking about the House, the White House, Supreme Court, did nothing. Did nothing. We were losing the fight, not because of the left, they're the ones who started it, but because of those pacified.
Had a 50 to 100 car pileup up here in Detroit a couple days ago.
What's going on? And we would say, you know what, here, sign an NDA. We can send you this information. They go, holy shit, this actually happened? They go, yep. They go, thanks. And there's another stand here. Really great stand there, social media experts. Great clip. Nothing done about 230. There's no way that we could win a lawsuit. Why? Because it would have to go through the courts that the left dominates and the right has conceded. Now, for the first time, there's a potential major competitor to take serious pieces off the board. I'm not saying that Rumble will be those things. Again, recorded, third. There's a major competitor that can take serious pieces off the board. And Mug Club, you are the tip of that spear to be proof positive, proof of product that it can work. So what we ask is that you watch it for free here this month. We always try and give you content for free. If you were previously a Mug Club member, you got an email.
What are those things? Holy shit.
3 months free.
Big hunk of tar.
But you are the test kit.
Big hunk of tar.
For how big Rumble can get. And they have a premium service, but they also, I know first, they really want to take it to YouTube. They really want to stick it high and hard to YouTube on the free portion, where people who just understand that their content will be moderated, that the quality of content will determine the chips falling where they may on the free side. You need to have both components, and no one else is even trying to do it. Furthermore, they wouldn't have your siloed network and make money. There would have been nothing more profitable than us just doing Mug Club, you subscribing, and not bringing on any other shows. We've backed ourselves into a corner where the expenses, the production, to bring other people in, guess what? That's not easy. Easier would have just been, paying members like
Shopper.
The world's biggest Patreon. We want to leave nothing for this one. Because
Stay on the road, Challenger Moto Freight.
That's what you say, that's the dark side. No. Again, I've been on YouTube since 2006. Political stuff since 2008. And I've seen the writing on the wall, and I've always tried to fight against it. And we have always tried to fight against it. And we have had brothers in arms. Some of them have fallen, some of them have walked off the battlefield, and I don't blame them. But when you peek behind the curtain, when you're dealing with, I don't want to say friendly fire, but people saying this fight isn't worth it, guess what? Rumble says it is. And they have the ability to take the fight. And we are the test case for this. So let me just kind of end this. I know what some of you are saying. Okay? And it's a legitimate criticism. But hear me out here, because a lot of people on the right inherently think political. How many times do I get asked, who do you think is going to be the next big senator?
That's a trap. Anna's trying to trap somebody into saying something status.
So many of you are probably saying, okay, so sure, what, you're going to fight back by doing just some shows and creating content? That's how you're fighting back? You think that'll make a difference? Yes. Yes. It's not the only
I was poker last night. I
I
was having family time last night. My son was over and stuff. Well, Solo Cajun, he was over here, over to the house last night. I got a beautiful picture of him and one of my shepherds. I'll put it up on the desktop.
Oh my God, Elon Musk bought Twitter. What is Elon Musk doing? Allowing voices to speak. Content. Allowing freedom. That's way more important than trying to fix it with a vote every 4 years. Every 2 if you're talking about midterms. Especially if you don't think that the elections are on the up and up. So yes, we are. That's our review.
Oh, you won 2 games? Nice.
One show on the right.
Is it a lot of relief if I'm not playing?
There should be one. Every single show like this endorsed Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden.
I just really hate the way the app is set up now, though. I haven't played that much on mobile, but on the desktop, it's so hard to find everything. I finally figured out, I think, how to do a favorite for the matches.
More free, more political. They actually communicate with people. Or on YouTube, or Facebook, or Instagram. We were labeled misinformation for when I said I was on Alex Jones's show. It was just a clip, and Instagram said, this is misinformation. You mean I wasn't on his show? So, imagine a world where Rachel Levine, the American public, and I, and everyone here, and all of you can say, that's evil. And a line in the sand without being suspended. Imagine a world where I can say that transitioning children is child abuse and that the end results are negative for both society and the children themselves. Because they
cell phone hotspot.
Health complications, and the attempted suicide rate, by the way, doesn't improve at all without being fact-checked as misinformation. Now imagine a world where I can refer to Rachel Levine as Dr. Richard Levine without being suspended and a prick. Well, I just did. If you're watching right now on this Mug Club only sitting on Rumble to get free from I just did. Now imagine a world where I, you, and all content
Always cracks me up when people claim a cop's on the side of the road when they're at the weigh station there. They ain't even in the car.
Users already are. That's the vision for the country. That's the vision for the state of
click them off.
That's the vision of Rumble, and that's the vision in which we, you, Mug Club, are the tip of the spear to prove that we will all put our money where our mouth is. That's why I ask you to consider signing up. If you want to give more when you sign up, it's a one-time donation. You can. Of course, we don't ask that of you. Signing up is enough. You're the tip of the spear. You know what? I think that's a whole lot more meaningful than other grandstanding Senate. So lightofcutter.com/motherfucker, and you're watching for free right now. Do we have time to hit the hockey gay thing? Probably not.
We've had a fantastic first show back. Really quickly before we move on to anything
Does
else.
that make sense?
It does.
Does that make sense?
A lot of sense, but this and Chris, actually, the CEO of Rumble, tweeted me this, like, #Rumble takeover. This is what's happening right now. We want Rumble to take this space. We want to be a part of helping them do that and change the model.
Yeah.
The number of subscribers and the conversations that we had that Stephen alluded to, and this is just you guys supporting
Frank's
us.
is the only Louisiana hot sauce I really enjoy.
We know that you guys go.
Tabasco tastes like vinegar.
Painting ourselves into a corner on purpose. It just blows their mind. But it's the model that can change things because it's not beholden to advertisers. It's not beholden to going out and playing by other people's rules. It's simply you saying, I like that content. And they're willing every single time you come and say, hey, it needs to be like this, or hey, we think this will make it. Hey,
probably set up a stream at for 1 o'clock. I got people coming in then too, so it's going to be nuts. So what I'll probably do is set it up for 1 o'clock, and I'll probably have Russell Brand playing in the background while I'm dealing with all these people.
You have how many paying subscribers?
I'm hoping a bunch of people anyway.
You have how many? And you also have this critical mass of users on the free platform. That is the key.
Tiger Paws House.
One place that has a huge platform that's free.
With the wooden cap? Yeah, I'm good on that. For just a little bit of bite, I like some Franks. I can put that on almost anything. And then for some real heat, I got my Dave's Insanity. I put that on my jerky. Man, this red car is on my ass. And I'm on the right lane, dude. Are you exiting too? Getting you some dispo? Oh man, look at the other side. It's backed up. It's backed up. Yeah, he's exiting with me.
We are going to take some chats. Give him a second to pull it up. But just on the sports that are gay, it warmed my heart last night to put that in the Discord channel. The Liverpool Never Walk Alone reference. It fits, and also was mildly irritating to Steven because it's soccer.
Yes, he did. He used a soccer reference. But was it San Jose Sharks? They're celebrating Pride by wearing LGBT-themed jerseys.
Yes.
But there are a lot of, unlike football and these other sports, there are a lot of hockey players who say, "Niet.
Well, that's the.
I will not wear a jersey for sucking cock."
I don't think jersey for that. That's the problem. You don't have to put the jersey.
Those Russian those Eastern European players, they drive by the LGBT
I literally,
bench like Viggo Mortensen.
in my marinade for my jerky meat, I put like 3 drops of Dave's Insanity in there, and it puts, and that'll be a couple pounds of meat.
That stand up to stuff like this.
And it's still,
I have history of violence.
it's warm.
Yeah, soccer players
Sweet hot.
French are the first to capitulate.
These are many Cronenberg references. I'm a cinephile, but I'm also violent.
Dave's Insanity is now made in New York City.
Yes. All right, we are going to grab some chat. And by the way, we take a couple chats, every day, and then we usually have chat Thursday. But we might be moving that. I don't know. Maybe we'll move that to Friday. Or we do a whole show of chats, but chat Thursday
Is it?
usually that second. Do you want to do your quick? Do you want to do Cheryl knows?
No. We'll do chats.
Let's take a couple chats. Let's take a couple chats.
It's good.
All right. Loudescar.com/mudclub. Bring them up.
All right, first chat is from Volatile.
I use Worcestershire sauce as part of my marinade too. I leave a whole bottle, the big bottle you get at.
Also, you said there's a military veteran discount. How do we use it?
I didn't say there was a veteran military. There used to be, and we're going to bring that back. But right now, because we gave away 3 months free to people who are signed up on mudclubforever.com, when you bring it out initially and there's no way to verify, you'll have a ton of people using that promo code. But we will have a military and veteran discount as we get rolling, probably in the next few months.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the Mud Club, so the platform that hosts it, he said local, so I just wanted to find what
it hosts.
Platform basically that hosts all of the different features. So if you were a Mud Club member over at the previous place, right, that's that similar thing, right?
Yeah.
Except there's a lot more features, a lot more interaction. We'll actually be posting in there personally. You'll see some other videos, and there's a community of people that are in there. So that's what I said. Go sign up there. So right now, like Steven said, Rumble and this platform are two separate.
So here's exactly what it is. If you're watching on YouTube, okay, just go to liveofcolor.com.
Are you talking about Custer?
Locals host the back end, and eventually that's all going to be kind of under the Rumble umbrella, right? And this is some of the growing at warp speed, so some of these things have to change. So if you're some of these things,
Historical City, Monroe.
YouTube, okay, go to liveofcolor.com/mudclub. If you're not a member, you sign up. Okay, if you are a member,
Yeah, they got a statue of Custer here in Monroe.
The premium, the paid portion. If you are watching on Rumble when it's not free, right now this doesn't apply because
Mr. Golden Locks.
There's a button.
Got whacked off.
There's a button right there.
Right under on the right-hand side that says Mud Club.
So my left, your right. You click that, Mud Club, and if you are already a member, you'll continue watching the free portion, the paid portion, or you can sign up to watch it. So Locals is a hosting site, but you can just go there straight from Rumble, clicking that button, or bookmark loudwithcredit.com/mudclub, and once you're a member, you've signed up, you've signed in, you can watch all of it. Locals it's basically like a server, a hosting kind of existence. So you don't need to concern you. You can take part in the community, but you don't really have to. You can watch it straight on Rumble, boom, click a button and join, or go to loudwithcredit.com/mudclub.
There you go.
All right, and the discount will be coming here in the next few months. You know, we were able to reduce the price by $10, and you know, add content, and we had another promo code go out that, by industry standards, was very aggressive. So we will bring that back here as we continue.
By the way,
Yeah, he's just gonna pop up. He's gonna be like, huh?
Like if you were there, and
What
you
am I
got that
hearing?
Email. It's only for people who are in Mug Club. Don't
Everybody's
share it.
desperately into his
Expires
DMs
today.
right now, trying to let him know.
Take advantage
For
of the 3
for
months.
already existing Mug Club members to get the 3 months.
Maybe he'll make it
And
for the
once
desktop
your card-
stream.
This is a question that I'm going to take before it even comes up, because I'm sure it will, about mugs. Once your card is charged, if you got it free and you wait,
Maybe
till
he'll
you
make
get
it for the
actual
desktop
date
stream,
Mug Club
so
back,
we'll see.
You'll receive an email that says, "Hey, claim your mug," and
Yes.
you send your address in. So once your card is
And just to be clear, that's a protection method. So
Yeah.
we don't have your address, right? So that's a separation. That's a beautiful thing too with Rumble Locals and the way they use Stripe is your information is entered as far as your payment. We don't have your address, so the email will be sent as soon as you sign up saying, "Hey, claim your mug," and that's when you can enter in your address. That way, no one gets doxxed. All right, next chip.
All right. Sunny48 has a question for Gerald. When will the Theology Nature segment start?
nature.
Nature.
What am I going to do?
What is it, the BBC? And now we're going to do theology with Gerald Morgan Jr.
Naked and
The Gerald Jim Morganius.
Yeah, that sounds like Matt, Jesse.
that is how it.
Heterosexualis falsus. We don't even. Have you figured out that? We already sat down. With
That makes sense, Santa.
Well, a couple of times. Apologizing apologetics. So something along those lines with apologetics. Yeah. So we sat down with Callan. We had a great conversation. We found out God does have a sense of humor.
Well-
Darren, there is comedy in theology. He gave an entire people hemorrhoids. You'll hear us talk all about that, which is pretty funny as a punishment. If you think about it, when you have a Rolodex of punishments, including frogs and locusts and plagues, and you're like, hemorrhoids.
I particularly liked the Lord's comedic closer in killing all the firstborns.
Ah. That wasn't him so much as everybody else. So,
That's
there is
one for
comedy
you,
in it.
Lord.
That's one for you.
Yeah. But so the goal with that is to talk about theological subjects that we've talked about on air, but also have conversations with other people. So Brian
Right.
and I are
He's
probably
gonna let me
do
go.
a handful of those. You and I will obviously do some. But then we have
Probably you
like
and Jim.
Alex Jones, Jim, like those guys. I'll be able to sit down and talk with them about their experience with faith and just different questions, different things that people want to know, and then send your questions in.
Yeah, send your
Right.
questions.
So we'll kind of catalog those, and we may just have a day where we answer some like 5 or 6 of the biggest questions.
Yeah, we'll be doing a Friday and so here's the thing, the Friday show will be a mixed bag. Sometimes it'll be behind the scenes stuff, sometimes it'll be a life advice,
Yeah.
or we've talked about sometimes it being a theology installment, but so many people have requested that, we may
Go
want
by
to
the
make
Bell
that a
Bosman
Monday or
office.
Tuesday installment, and Friday be something else, because so many people want to see it. Yeah, it does. It does. But
And
it's
the Bananarama?
each where we dive into a topic. So
No, it's fine.
that'll be starting what? If not this week, next week.
Probably within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You'll start.
Anna-
to see
Anna's
the
turning my
notifications
channel into
this
her
time.
OF.
It's weird. Notifications actually working.
I know.
Right? We're gonna have to get used to that. You'll get notified all the time.
I don't
that
care.
One of these episodes go up, and we will be doing some data dumps to put a bunch of content in, just to fill out the back catalog. So.
Oh yeah, just so you know, we have to
We'll figure that out.
fill our catalog. Oh, and also we
There's
found
so much.
600 audio sketches
It's insane.
that
From
you've
the-
never heard because they were back when the show was on AM radio. And if you're not subscribed to, it'll go to audio only at first
Hilarious.
on Fridays. We'll upload it, and then we'll make sure that you have the availability where you can peruse them all. We're just gonna dump all these old audio. We found these mines of content.
We're gonna have to animate some of those and bring those into the show as a series. 'cause
Yeah,
they're
the
just
Captain
so
Planet
good.
series,
Yeah.
the penile transplant, with Delilah, like, what was it, the Love Advice with Bill Cosby.
They're not all gems.
They're not all gems.
No, to get you
There
back
was
to
Swiss
the
Family Robinson, the second generation. Flipper. It's just a bunch of retards and flipper kids. Because you have to understand, back in the day it was on AM radio, there's 16 minutes of ads. And so when we would upload it as a podcast, right, or we'd be streaming live, it's like, no one wants to hear about Ypsilanti Ford.
Right,
So I would just be like, I don't know. Let me do some Michael Jackson. Let me do Life Advice with Bill Cosby. Let me do this. And then they would create these characters and these arcs that would then intersect, like
Yeah.
Tranny Bame. So yeah, we found all these. So there's going to be a lot of never before seen or heard content.
My dad worked at that Ypsilanti Ford plant for a little while. Sup,
right,
Doc and
let's
Chad?
grab,
Dirty Dog.
one
You made it
more
just in
chat.
time.
Or let's-
We're going to cut the
Two
mobile
chats.
stream for a live stream. I'm going to
Two more
kick it back on at
Mr. Canadian
1 p.m. Eastern time. So
As a father,
in about a half
have you
hour.
gone to school jabbed or transitioned your kid? This is a question I suppose you can never answer because we were beholden to the YouTube guidelines.
Someone jabbed my kids, I'd throw a straight right down the pipe. Oh, you mean jab with the?
It's a joke for the jab.
Yeah.
You meant to hit the button.
I was way off.
No, that's
There you go.
used to call me a mailbox an old Steven 357. They'd say. No.
No.
Good thing though is if they transitioned your kid, you'd know it.
That's beside the point, Derek.
In other words, there'd be a process.
That question.
Yeah, there'd be a process. Yes, it wouldn't just happen like he shows up. You're like,
Yeah, it's true.
those aren't tits, are they?
Where'd you get those?
Those aren't giant fake purple tits. Did I miss? Did you do something with your hair? No, you would see it
Didn't
happening.
even come home with a note.
How are they jabbing your kid or transitioning them without you knowing? Your child should not be in a school where that's even a possibility.
Yeah, you shouldn't. I mean, I don't think schools are even allowed to do that for anything.
Well, no, the thing is, well, they're not. Well, kids aren't allowed to drink or drive cars, but they're allowed to transition. So it's a valid question. But you, as a father, your job or mother is to protect your children. You do not put them in a scenario where that could even be the case. And I mean, you do not put them in a scenario where a teacher could influence them into thinking
All right.
that they're confused and genderqueer.
Right.
Don't even. An ounce
We're gonna
of
kill it.
right, is
I'm gonna get it set back up. We'll start back up at the top of the hour.
Jiu-jitsu would say an ounce of prevention is worth 10,000 pounds of defense, but I know in medicine an ounce of prevention is worth 10,000 pounds of cure. You need to prevent it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a conflict, Anna. Because as much as I like her and both
Starting to make policies that
accountability for all, they're pretty statist.
show up to school board meetings, put pressure on them, force those people to change their mind or resign, and get people in there that will make sound decisions.
On old drugs.
Kids. Yeah, that's do all that. Then it,
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Out of school, not out of
Listening to the first real Louder with Crowder since he's returned.
They would even entertain such dialogue.
It's like they're winding it down. They're reading super chats and shit.
Get the side-by-side of Slimer?
Top of the hour. Should be back going again.
We'll end with that. If it's any good. Let's grab one more chat. Better be good.
So please come join me. We'll try and find some entertainment to put in the background. Yeah, my pleasure.
I love Alex. But please tell me
Peace, everybody. See you in a bit.